Hi there, Mark Beatty, brand director for Redline Synthetic Oil. Before partnering up with Autofluencer, it was always a challenge for us to measure what did we get in return or where is our value. I mean, obviously, we would keep an eye on social media and we would keep an eye on activity from the teams. But it's really as most brands know, it's really challenging, especially when you're like us and you have so many teams that you're trying to keep track of. So honestly, before we signed up, it was really just kind of a shot in the dark, and I guess we were just kind of looking for more of a warm and a fuzzy than we were for facts. We became interested. Well, I'll be honest with you, Erica. When you came and talked to me the very first time, a light came on. I knew that we were struggling to try and justify or validate a lot of things that we were doing in the sponsorship program. And we have race teams that were subscribed to other sources of getting that data and getting that information. But as a brand, we wanted to be in charge of our own destiny and understand things ourselves. So when you came to us and were explaining how you could help us monitor a whole vast of teams, riders that we have, kind of consolidate everything down into one easily read report. It was a blessing. It was like that is exactly what we've been looking for. Our sponsorship program consists of about 600 riders and drivers from all walks of life, and in all forms of racing and all types of series. And so, to be honest, it's definitely too big to manage and look at as a brand. I mean, we would need a team of 30 or 40 people to keep track of that much activity, or even attempt to keep track of that much activity. So what we did is we narrowed it down to approximately 100 key teams or key riders that we wanted to track and we wanted to monitor. That way I could value them, the earned media value, based off of my budget that we have in place for sponsorship programs. My experience so far with Autofluencer, one word, it's wow. I mean, it was incredible from the very first conversation to where we are today. I can't believe how easy it is for me on my side of the fence to get the data and to get the information that I needed. And I think to myself all the time, it's like, where were you 5 years ago when I started? In my role, I'm a team of one. It's crazy. We're owned by a really big company, but at the end of the day, when it comes to brand directing, it comes to marketing, all falls on my shoulder, along with the sponsorship program. So anytime that I can align myself with a company, with an organization, and especially specifically Auto Influencer, it just helps me because you guys do all the work. You guys do all the monitoring. You guys do all the tracking, and you guys do all the mathematical calculations to give me an earned media value, to give me engagements, to give me engagement rates that there is no way that I could ever do it by myself without you. Autofluencer definitely helps me share my message up the management ladder. Once again, being a small part of a big company, I report up to a whole lot of people. And so when I do my budget every year, I budget X amount of money that I know that I'm going to give in product discounts or we're going to give in products. And so being involved with Autofluencer, what that does, that allows me to prove what the return on investment is for that. As to where before I never had that opportunity. I didn't have the data to where I could show on paper to management, hey, look, I know this looks like a lot of money that we're doing in sponsorships, but look at what we got in return. My advice, if you're not using Autofluencer, is make the call. I don't know how else to phrase that. Make the call, because it's all in one place for you. The reporting, the numbers, the data. I don't care if you want to compare person versus person, or if you're just looking for an end number, or if you're looking for an earned media value number. It doesn't matter. It's all there, and you can use the data to grow your program or to report your program, honestly, with one phone call. Just sign up. So they go to our website and click on sponsorship and fill out the form stack. And then what I do is just simply download every application to an Excel spreadsheet. That way I can, I mean, one of the questions on there is what type of racing do you do, for example. So if I want to take that data and like it says, put all the NHRA or put all the drag racers together, put this together, that together, I can manipulate that data from my Excel spreadsheet any way that I want. What I need to figure out is, I think you've seen, I mean, like I said, I've got, I don't know, honestly, I'd pick a number, 400 teams in Team Brand Leno right now, and I think we have 96 creators loaded, because the vast majority of drivers and riders that I have obviously just have a personal Facebook page. Their racing isn't a business page. And so that's, so especially if you look at some of the lower tier guys, if I got a guy that has a Mazda Miata that's out there, you know, time trialing in a parking lot, it's like does a really great job for us, but he's going to be a 25 off guy, because he doesn't have the ability to ever, he's never going to turn it into a professional page. I mean, he is what he is. When I listen to you ask about questions and being able to help, I mean, obviously I get excited, because it is a challenge for me, because I try my very best. Now, obviously, even the 400 that are on Team Red Logo right now, I make them reapply every year. There are no carryovers. If you don't want to spend the time and energy to reapply, then I don't want you. So obviously every year I have a bunch of repeats, and I recognize the names. But when I start seeing new names, I honestly do. I mean, I click on, they have to give me a link to their social media, and I click on every single one of them and kind of look around. And that is, I mean, that's exactly how I spend my December, January, and February